relief for families, with much more on the way here. And he's visiting Insta Seal, a high-performance steel company here in Roane County in the 14th Congressional District, MTG's former seat here. And Trump will be talking about the economy, probably Iran, but also about possibly endorsing D.A. Clayton Fuller for the U.S. House race special election on March 10th, right around the corner. And there's 18 candidates in there. Colton Moore, Clay Fuller, Jim Tully, and Tom Gray seem to be leading the pack for now in better results in a straw poll. But only the top two vote getters, if there's no majority, will go off in a special runoff on April 7th. And then, of course, that's just to fill the seat until the end of this term. But then you have the midterm primaries in May, where you're going to have a big field again running. And November 3rd will be the general election. Let's see if the Republicans can hold on to the House here. This is a plus 19 district, Steve. 70% of the voters in the past few presidential elections voted for Donald Trump.
So a strong district for him. Winning the primary means winning the seat, is what you're telling me, David.
Yeah, it's a strong district for him, and, the policies here, I just interviewed Mike Collins, the 10th District Congressman, who's been a surrogate for Trump on the road for many years. He's also running for U.S. Senate in a three-way primary right now in May for Georgia. But, he's saying, because I've been covering the Pentagon, rapid capabilities, putting stuff in the hands of warfighters quicker at speed and scale, and cooperation with private industry. Georgia's a big defense contractor state. Lockheed, Martin Marietta, big companies here, and he sees that change under Trump, defense acquisitions in real time to face real-time threats. So the general mood is, from my man on the streets outside with the residents here, from in and outside of the 14th District, is the economy is getting better. Now, gas is still $2.70 a gallon. It's got a long way to go, but it's down 40%, as the White House claims, from the highs under Joe Biden. And more is going to come, and they were just talking on stage about how the Feds possibly will lower interest rates again. And
we'll
they've got to be in that 4 or 5 range for kids to be able to buy a home. We'll see, right?
Yeah, we'll see. All right, David, thank you for that. We'll be checking back with David throughout the afternoon after the president makes his remarks. Now, joining me now to discuss manufacturing is the author of Manufacture Local, John Gardner. John, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Onshoring manufacturing, we've seen it. China is losing a General Motors plant, a small SUV coming back to the United States. John Deere announcing a new plant in North Carolina. Ford Motor Company building a new plant in Tennessee. Those are some examples. Those are all good news. But is it enough? Is it really happening fast enough and big enough to help out the American economy and, our blue-collar workers?
I think it's happening so fast that metal suppliers can't keep up. We heard and found out that America produced more steel than the number 3 steel producer in the world, Japan. They produce about 80 million tons of steel a year. We produce 83 million tons. Japan only uses about 50 million domestically per year. America uses 100 million. So as we get all these new factories going and new home construction, and I believe even Rolls-Royce is planning on possibly moving their facilities from the UK to here, we're going to be using a lot more steel. And I love seeing President Trump at a tier 2 steel processor like Coosa, because right now how the public pictures steel is the big mills with the molten lava pouring out. That's a tier 3 supplier. Coosa is a tier 2. They take the big ingots and the slabs, and they bring them down to size, and then send them to a tier 1 steel supplier who creates finished items like this, which is like a flange, which then goes to an OEM, original equipment manufacturer, which goes into assembly. And so, showing attention to the tier 2 suppliers of our whole manufacturing ecosystem, I think shows that President Trump is really focused on the whole ball wax, the whole ecosystem that we have going on, and that it's not just steel production or just the bottom line. It's everybody in between. That's where the job growth is created, and I do believe it's happening very fast. Tariffs take time, and I think what President Trump has done in a record time in a year to create all these projects lined up is incredible, considering we had 55 years of deindustrialization. So it's very exciting times, I think.
Out how that plays out. Of course, the Supreme Court could knock back several of those tariffs, if not all. But we also know that there's a plan to make them more specific so the tariffs will still be there. It's not a lost cause. John, I got to leave it there for today. John Gardner, greatly appreciate you stopping in. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Travis.
All right. Now, before we go to break, I have some news from Real America's Music, a brand new track titled Truth Bomb from the Ram Collective, the Truth Bombers. Not only that, but more music and even full albums are coming your way from the Truth Bombers and Real America's Music very soon. So be sure to continue to tune in to Real America's Voice for all the updates. Here's a sneak peek of Truth Bomb as we head to the break.
Yeah. They feed you headlines, cut the frame, say it loud enough, call it fact. Change the words, dodge the blame, sell the lie, then double back.
From Real America's Music, the label that brought you Anthem of the Free, The Boss, and Somali Waltz, comes a brand new anthem built for a distrustful age. Truth Bomb by the Truth Bombers.
Truth bomb. Tick, tick, truth bomb.
Talks about distrust of institutions, media manipulation, shifting government narratives, big tech censorship, cancel culture, and ideological silencing. The culture needs a truth bomb, and this track delivers. Pre-save it now. Scan the QR code or search Truth Bomb by the Truth Bombers on iTunes. We've broken records before. Let's do it again together.
Joining us is Dr. Drew from the Wellness Company with advice for dealing with seasonal colds and flu. Doctor?
Cold and flu season is here, and every year you or a loved one gets sick. Your doctor can't see you. Waiting in a crowded urgent care is brutal. This is a particularly bad cold and flu season, and it's why doctors suggest every family needs an emergency medical kit. Your medical emergency kit is filled with essential prescriptions. It includes antibiotics like generic Z-Pak to get well faster, amoxicillin for pneumonia, strep throat, ear infections, plus prescriptions for nausea and UTIs, and even ivermectin. It's easy. Just match your symptoms to the prescription in your guidebook or call the telemedicine doctor standing by. Take your medication early and feel better faster. Having a medical emergency kit is like having an urgent care in your home. No waiting to see a doctor, no lines at the pharmacy.
Smart advice. We've shared the website and discount code below to save viewers $45. Order now and your kit will be rushed to your door. Thank you, Doctor.
Life insurance is a wonderful asset. But what happens when you no longer need it, or you can't afford it any longer? Meet Tom and Susan. They chose to sell their $1 million life insurance policy for $200,000 cash. Now, they're sailing through retirement. Like David and Eunice, who sold their $300,000 life insurance policy for $30,000 to help make dreams come true. If you own a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, you may be able to sell all or part of it for cash. Get an instant estimate of what your policy may be worth at ovidlife.com or scan the QR code on your screen. There's no cost or obligation to sell, and it won't affect your coverage. You can even choose to sell a portion of your policy while maintaining some coverage with no future premiums. Or call 1-800-485-6200. That's 1-800-485-6200. Or visit ovidlife.com now.
President Trump delivered on his promise to pardon January 6 defendants, but there are still 12 whose fights are far from over. Even though they've had their sentences commuted, they still cannot vote, possess firearms, receive military pensions and retirement benefits, obtain health care coverage, or secure employment. Stand in the Gap is renewing our Justice Restoration Fund to advocate for full pardons for these patriots. Please visit j6support.com or scan the QR code to support our fight for justice. Scan the QR code or visit j6support.com to make a tax-deductible donation to our Justice Restoration Fund today.
All right, there is serious concern over chemicals and contaminants that are in our drinking water. We see in the news all the time. The nationwide testing has clearly proven the presence of these contaminants and how they're responsible oftentimes for health issues, even diseases like cancer and maybe some other things too. Here to weigh in on this very concerning issue is home improvement expert Skip Bedell. We've watched him for years helping families on the hit TV show Catch a Contractor. And for the last 10 years, he's appeared hundreds of times on the nation's biggest news shows as an expert contributor on how Americans can improve their homes and, most importantly, how they can keep themselves safe and healthy. Skip, nice to see you again. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Steve, thanks so much for having me.
Always good to have you. Look, water purity. I mean, we hear about it all the time. We see people having problems with their water for a variety of reasons. How concerning is it?
You know, Steve, it's critically concerning. I think people really are downplaying it and then just not educated to the point of really knowing what's in their water. And when you find out and you go down that rabbit hole, so to speak, it is quite troubling. We're finding nationwide testing that's showing high levels of the things we've heard about, the lead, the mercury, the arsenic. We've been hearing about these things like lead poisoning and all sorts of contaminants in the water all the way back to the Aaron Brockovich days, right? But now we're seeing big spikes in these levels of forever chemicals, the PFAS or the PFAs. These are big problems because these have been confirmed to cause cancer. They're showing up nationwide in every state. In fact, they're even showing up in the blood tests of Americans now. So these chemicals are getting into our water supply. And, you know, it's too much to filter out all these things at the municipal level. Over 50,000 water municipalities across the country have issues with trying to filter out all of these contaminants and highly toxic chemicals. So it's really at a point to where we have to be proactive and we got to do something on the home level ourselves to take care and protect our families.
Well, what about the folks that drink bottled water? I mean, that should help mitigate the problem, shouldn't it?
You know, it's funny that you brought that up because I brought along just a plastic bottle. You know, a lot of people are under this false sense of security that if they don't drink the water from home, that they don't have to worry about any of the things that are in the water because, you know, I don't drink it, or maybe I have a filter underneath my kitchen sink or the refrigerator, so we're safe. Even the bottled water, you know, bottled water is basically just municipal tap water has gone through reverse osmosis filter, put in a plastic bottle, and of course, over time, the chemicals that are in the plastic, we all know about that. You know, you never put the plastic containers in the microwave. Heat disrupts the plastic and chemicals can leach out. Over time, the plastic is really not good. It degrades and it's not as healthy as you think. But the bigger problem than the plastic in the bottle, Steve, is that people think by not drinking their water at home, they're safe. And the reason why that's not true, and I've mentioned this so many times before, it's kind of shocking when people hear it for the first time, is that our skin absorbs all those chemicals in the water, believe it or not, far more than we ever could just by drinking it alone. Our skin is the largest organ on the human body. It acts like a big sponge. And when we take a 10-minute shower, your skin is absorbing all those chemicals right into your pores, bypassing your digestive tract, going directly into your blood. Even standing there and inhaling the vapors going into your lungs, all the things you're worried about, the PFAS and the chlorine and the lead, all those things now are going into your body, into your bloodstream. So the biggest problem is not so much that we drink, believe it or not, it's all the contact that we come in with water. You know, we're washing with it. We use it for everything. Cleaning, brush your teeth, wash your hands. Every time you come in contact with water, whatever is in that water is absorbing into your body. And that's why I tell people it's so important on your home level. You got to filter all of the water that comes into your house, not just the water that you drink, every bit of it.
Well, that makes sense. So if home filters that we have out there don't work and bottled water isn't going to help us, what do you have for us that will?
Well, so after doing the research on this topic for my own family, Steve, you know, being in the industry for many years, the home improvement contractor for 25 years, I've installed so many different types of systems for other people, everything from water softeners to filters and all different brands and types and you name it. And I started doing a lot of research on this years ago for my own family when these problems concerned me. How do I keep my family safe from these contaminants? Especially when I found out that the thing we think is the safest by, you know, showering is actually the thing that can be one of the biggest problems. So going down into the research of whole home water filtration systems, this is the system that I have in my own home. This is the Freedom water filtration system. It's a whole home water filter that basically filters every drop of water in your home. So the water passes through this filter and it comes out the other side and returns to your home, filtering everything, giving you alkaline drinking water from every faucet in your home.
All right, so let me ask you this. How do people get this whole house water system right now?
Well, so if they go to freedomwatersystems.com, it's a great time to get one of these systems right now because they're running a special. They have a discount. If you go to skip26 on the promo code at freedomwatersystems.com, you can get $1,000 off right now for RAP viewers, Steve. So there couldn't be a better time to get one of these whole house water filters from Freedom than right now.
Skip, always appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me, Steve. Have a great day.
All right, you heard it right here, folks. Go to freedomwatersystems.com right now. Use the promo code SKIP26. You'll receive a $1,000 discount right now. Again, that's freedomwatersystems.com. Pretty easy, right? freedomwatersystems.com. Promo code is SKIP26. You'll save $1,000 right now. And don't forget to check out skippadell.com as well for more information. After the break, we'll have a story that reminds us of just how wonderful America is, plus answers to the America's Voice question of the day. What specific steps should federal authorities take next to ensure accountability in the Epstein case? Your answers when we come back.
I'd like to say this is the first time, but there have been others.
How many?
Who can keep track?
You think this is a joke?
Darling, we need answers, and you're gonna give them to us.
Tell us again.
My car broke down. I brought it here. I got stuck paying an expensive repair bill.
So it's true.
How much, darling?
$2,300. But
$2,300.
Well, what was I supposed to do? My transmission was shot.
You pick up your phone and you call CarShield before the car breaks down.
Plans through CarShield cover up to 5,000 parts and systems in your car.
That's right. A plan through CarShield could save you on some criminally high auto repairs, especially if your car is out of warranty. So, call CarShield, America's #1 auto protection company, before a breakdown and save yourself from getting stuck in car repair jail.
Let me guess. You hate saving money.
Who hates saving money?
Apparently you do.
All you had to do was call CarShield. And you could have protected yourself against expensive repairs.
Yeah, and then my price will go up the minute I file a claim.
Shut up! CarShield has the price locked in.
For as long as you cover your car.
I guess I should have called CarShield?
It's about time you said something that made sense.
Now you know what you need to do next time.
Bet he'll call CarShield now.
So can I go? Or...
CarShield has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and was voted America's most trusted auto protection company. Don't get handcuffed paying expensive auto repairs. Call now and get the CarShield guarantee. Your price will never go up and your coverage will never go down as long as you cover your car. In just minutes, you could have a plan that covers up to 5,000 parts and systems in your car. Don't wait until it's too late. Get CarShield's best coverage yet. Call 800-491-4896.
It's time to stand up and save with Insta Seal by Bell & Howell, the world's first vertical vacuum sealing system designed to save you money. Insta Seal removes the air completely, extending freshness up to 6 times longer. Now that's saving. Get the complete Insta Seal system. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-308-6802. That's 1-800-308-6802 or order online at buyinstaseal.com.
All right, well, President Trump back at it, shaking hands and talking to the folks in Georgia. Here he is.
Wow, that's pretty good. But I don't want his name on there. So can you help me out?
I love it.
He doesn't want Biden's name on his Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah.
It's a very good choice.
I'm going to do it. No problem. Well, mine's not an auto pen. This is. That's an auto pen. See that? You know that's an auto pen. See, that's an auto pen. You want me to cross it off? Yes. That's it right there. That's an auto pen signature. That's it. You think he signed it? He didn't sign that. Crazy, man. That's a lifetime. Crazy stuff, right? That's crazy. I don't know how he did that. Auto pens. It's insulting if you think about it. Okay, now you have a real Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, sir. Thank you, Chris. See you at the next event. Do we like the fake news? Yeah. Huh? I'm not so sure. They go, no, we don't. So far, you've been very fair. You've been very fair, yes.
I'd like to shake your hand, sir. I'm the mayor of Rome.
You can shake my hand.
Thank you, Mr.
President. Good looking guy, right?
Yeah, thank you. You are too.
Thank you. Have a good time.
Thank you for
coming.
Bye,
All right. He's making his rounds. Seems to be in a good mood today. Is the president there in Georgia on his way to the steel plant now in Rome, Georgia. So he'll be there. We'll have complete coverage of his visit starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. right here as I kick off live coverage in Real America's Voice. I do every Monday through Friday with the Steve Rivers Show, and then back here for more coverage on America's Voice Live. Until then, have a great afternoon.
Joining us is Dr. Drew from the Wellness Company with advice for dealing with seasonal colds and flu. Doctor?
Cold and flu season is here, and every year you or a loved one gets sick. Your doctor can't see you. Waiting in a crowded urgent care is brutal. This is a particularly bad cold and flu season, and it's why doctors suggest every family needs an emergency medical kit. Your medical emergency kit is filled with essential prescriptions. It includes antibiotics like generic Z-Pak to get well faster, amoxicillin for pneumonia, strep throat, ear infections, plus prescriptions for nausea and UTIs, and even ivermectin. It's easy. Just match your symptoms to the prescription in your guidebook or call the telemedicine doctor standing by. Take your medication early and feel better faster. Having a medical emergency kit is like having an urgent care in your home. No waiting to see a doctor, no lines at the pharmacy.
Smart advice. We've shared the website and discount code below to save viewers $45. Order now and your kit will be rushed to your door. Thank you, Doctor.
President Trump delivered on his promise to pardon January 6 defendants, but there are still 12 whose fights are far from over. Even though they've had their sentences commuted, they still cannot vote, possess firearms, receive military pensions and retirement benefits, obtain health care coverage, or secure employment. Stand in the Gap is renewing our Justice Restoration Fund to advocate for full pardons for these patriots. Please visit j6support.com or scan the QR code to support our fight for justice. Scan the QR code or visit j6support.com to make a tax-deductible donation to our Justice Restoration Fund today.
We're calling it end, and I just want to say this is an honor to be here. We celebrate Black History Month. We honor the memory of those who came before us by continuing their legacy and fighting for an American that's really an America that's safe and strong and prosperous. We now have a country that's bigger, better, greater than ever before. I want to thank all my secretaries and all of the people that came here. Our military leaders are here. We have a lot of people that are here, and I want to thank you all. But this is a very special group of people. So,
joining us is Dr. Drew from the Wellness Company with advice for dealing with...
There you go. Ring the bell. That bell's ring. Oh, Eris mining stocks. Interesting. Mining stocks are getting a new life with gold and silver absolutely rocking lately. Let's take a look at the markets, shall we? Dow's down about 275 points. Earlier, it was unchanged up to a little bit, and then right before the market opened, Walmart came out with earnings. Earnings were good. They beat expectations, but apparently wasn't good enough for Wall Street. Everything kind of dipped. It tried to make a comeback, got almost back to unchanged on the day, and then rolled over a little bit. S&P down just 19, NASDAQ down 70, not big moves there. Here's the bad news. Oil market is continuing higher because a lot of traders are believing that Trump will attack Iran at some point. When you attack an oil-producing nation, oil prices go up. When you attack an oil-consuming nation, oil prices go down. That's how it works. Oil up another $1.60, $1.55. Gold up 11, nothing major. And crypto kind of floundering around at the $66,000, $67,000 level, folks.
The Somali waltz. The Somali waltz.
All right, so we did there. Our first guest has introduced a groundbreaking bill to halt Somali immigration for, listen to this, for 25 years, called the Somalia Immigration Moratorium Act. SIMA. We'll call it SIMA. This bill is in direct response to the failure of Somali immigrants to assimilate into American society, in addition to the abuse of federal benefits program and fraud, which has cost taxpayers. I'm not saying Minnesota taxpayers. I'm saying U.S. taxpayers, including Minnesota, of course, taxpayers north of $19 billion. Happy to have Congressman Brandon Gill with us today. Congressman, bill is exactly what's needed to put American citizens first. Get this, folks. Brandon Gill says 81% of Somali households in Minnesota are on welfare. $19 billion went out the door. Sir, tell us about the bill.
Well, the bill is simple, and I think it's predicated on a basic principle, which is that our immigration system is designed, its sole purpose is to benefit American citizens. There's no other reason that it exists. We get to choose, or we should choose, who comes into our country, and that should be based on what makes the United States stronger, what makes our communities more prosperous. And that's not what's happening. And in fact, that hasn't been what's happening for several decades now. And I think the Somali community, as we've seen over the past several weeks, is a perfect example of that. So you have a group of people who have come into the United States really over the past 3 decades or so. If you go back in American history, there were virtually no Somalis in the United States in 1990. So this is fairly recent. And yet, if you look at the people who have come in, not only are 81% of them on welfare, but even after being in the United States for 10 years or longer, 78% of Somali immigrants in Minnesota are on welfare. Furthermore, if you ask yourself, are these people coming in assimilating into American culture? The answer is no. And I think a good proxy for assimilation is ability to speak English. And the reality is that 50%, roughly about half of the Somali immigrants in Minnesota, even after being in the U.S. for 10 years or longer, do not speak English very well. That is a real cultural problem in the United States. We brought in a lot of people. We need to allow our society, our civilization to cohere, to assimilate, to become one people, all of us, that we can all become fully American, and that's not happening. So I introduced this bill that would ban immigration from Somalia. For 25 years, I think that is a very fair and moderate response to what is, I think, a serious crisis, not only from the welfare fraud, but simply from the fact that there are so many people in this country that have not assimilated and need to.
Congressman, it's a great idea. A couple of questions. 25 years, some will say, is that a little bit, is it too much? Listen, I'm on board. We've been preaching this for literally, I've been doing it since I've been on television. You want to come to this country, great. We like people to emigrate and immigrate. We want to vet you, but we also want you to assimilate to our way of life. And it strikes me right now what's going on in New York City with now this Muslim